You may be looking at this DVD, watching through it, and you're not really sure how to use it. I really want to take time to break down what you'll see in this resource. That way you'll be able to dig more in depth about the topics we're covering. The first part of the video will be an explanation of a phrase. It'll begin to explain it. Hopefully this will start to allow you to understand the process that you have to go through. I'll give you an example of what this may look like. Now the phrase "at its wit's end," it really means that something has happened and a problem shows up. No matter what angle you look at it, no matter how much you think about it and try to figure out a solution, you can't really find anything that will really make the problem go away. After the explanation of the phrase is done, it'll show several examples of how the sign may be done in ASL. Now, there are many different examples, and some of them have a whole bunch of different options, but others are a little bit more limited. In the same idea, some are more complex and some are more simple. But you can take the examples that we provided and start storing them in your own memory knowledge. When a white slide appears, it means that that example is done and it'll go on to the next example. These examples are kind of like reading a book. You turn the pages and you can watch it all the way through. Hopefully each example will show you what it looks like in a different way. It'll give you a clearer picture. Now, don't be afraid if you need to rewind and watch an example again. This is a tool for you to use. Some of the examples might look very similar, but make sure you look very closely at the facial expressions and how the signer moves. Having a little bit different sign might make a huge difference. No matter how many ideas I came up with, there didn't seem to be a good solution. I was thinking and trying to come up with some idea that would be brilliant, but it was no use. No matter how hard I processed through and tried to find something, nothing would work. It was no use. I came up with so many ideas. I looked at it from different angles, and even if I found something that might help, it just ended up failing. After the examples are finished, each phrase we're going to show you a true skit or story that might show it what it would look like in real life. If I were to copy that phrase in a real situation, this is how I could use it, and you can adapt it and tweak it to your own liking. I have so many taxes that are due. I was trying to figure out an adequate way to pay off the debts, but no matter what idea I thought of, they just didn't seem pliable. I tried to figure out what would be the best solution, but nothing seemed to work. I was at my wit's end. Now, all three of these components are involved in this DVD. Hopefully this will provide you with a stepping stone path that will allow you to figure it out yourself. Now, honestly, this DVD is a little bit limited in its space. There are so many examples that we could have provided. But this resource's goal is really just to give you a better understanding of how you can figure out an idiom, what it means, and then how to produce it in sign language. If you want, you can go on the internet or figure out things that you've heard and try to figure out what these actually mean. You think about it and you figure out how you could actually produce it in an accurate interpretation. This DVD is just really a foundation and a stepping stone that you can use to continue your own research. What we provide here is only a small amount, and there's so many more opportunities and so much more that you can learn from doing your own research. I hope that you continue figuring out and using these words and not just taking them in their page value, but really figuring them out and expanding your schema and your knowledge of how you can create an accurate interpretation. Now, the last part of the DVD has a game. You'll watch a short video, and after it's finished, it'll give you different options. A, B, C, different options that you can pick, and after you saw what happened in the video, you'll sit there and figure out, which one do I really think matches the idiom the best? Now, don't get stuck thinking in the exact words, but think in the big picture, what the main point was. And when you find one that you seem to work best, click that option. Then you can continue working your way through the game.